Rahul Gandhi, Congress MP and leader of opposition, faced yet another embarrassing rap from the Supreme Court today over one of his political statements. The Supreme Court granted relief to him but pulled up Gandhi for his comments where he had alleged that several thousand square kilometers of India's territory had been annexed by China and that Indian soldiers were being thrashed by their Chinese counterparts in Arunachal Pradesh. This is in context of Galwan 2020 clash. Accusing him of demoralizing the Indian armed forces and questioning whether his immature comments were in the interest of countries inimical to India, BJP has lashed out at Rahul Gandhi and attacked him following the Supreme Court's observations. But first up, let's tell you exactly what this is about. Addressing a press conference on December 16, 2022, Rahul Gandhi had claimed, one, that China is preparing for a war and the centre is hiding it, not accepting it. He went on to add that the ones who captured 2,000 square kilometers of India and killed 20 Indian soldiers are thrashing our soldiers in Arunachal Pradesh. These are comments that have landed him in trouble in courts earlier as well. The top court stayed proceedings in this matter, but the observations had done the damage. Court asked the LOP, why doesn't he say these things in Parliament instead? Why does he say this on social media or in the public forum? It reiterated that one cannot say anything just because there is freedom of speech in the country. The court asked if Rahul had any credible evidence to make these claims and then remarked, if you were a true Indian, you wouldn't be saying such things. These comments, of course, spread like wildfire. This isn't the first time, though, that Rahul Gandhi has faced these reversals in courts. His legal woes are not new at all. It started in 2016 itself, when the Supreme Court had slammed him for alleging that RSS was behind Mahatma Gandhi's murder. Supreme Court had asked him to furnish proof or apologize. In 2019, ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, Rahul Gandhi had mounted serious attacks on the Rafale deal at that time, going on to say that even the Supreme Court says that Chaukidar chor hai. Remember, Supreme Court had pulled him up and he had to offer an unconditional apology for misquoting the Supreme Court. In 2023, ahead of the next Lok Sabha polls, Rahul Gandhi was in fact convicted for 2 years for his defamatory statements suggesting that all thieves have the Modi surname. He was even stripped of his MP-ship only for the SC to stay that sentence. Earlier this year, Rahul Gandhi was pulled up for his comments against Veer Savarkar, where he had called him a British servant. Court called it an irresponsible statement. And then also earlier this year, for the same set of comments that have now landed him in trouble, he was pulled up by Allahabad High Court for saying that Chinese troops are thrashing Indian counterparts. The question that many are raising now is that with one more rap from the Supreme Court itself, not from political parties, are the leader of opposition's actions becoming a liability for the Congress party? Remember, Rahul Gandhi has also been slammed by many for echoing what Donald Trump had said on the Indian economy, calling it a dead one instead of standing up for India. That debate is coming up.
सवाल है राहुल गांधी का। आज अगर सबसे निर्भीक, निडर, साहसी आवाज मोदी सरकार के खिलाफ कुछ उठ रही है तो उसका नाम है राहुल गांधी।
I am very happy that at least Supreme Court has now given him a warning. It's a straightforward rebuke that as an Indian, Shri Rahul Gandhi should not speak like that.
जब ये टिप्पणी आई है तो एक सवाल उठता है, does India, does Bharat deserve a more responsible, a better leader of opposition?
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Siddharth Yadav of the BJP continues to be with us. Asma Tasleem, spokesperson of the Congress party, is with us. I do thank you for your patience, Asma. The question that many are asking today is, with more and more of Rahul Gandhi's statements landing the Congress party in a sort of an embarrassment, are his comments, his political jibes, attacks becoming a liability for the Congress party?
Hi, Shivani. I'd like to say that the leader of opposition has the responsibility on his shoulder as a patriotic Indian to question the government. After Galwan clash of 2020, we lost 20 soldiers after that martyrdom, our Prime Minister has given a clean chit to China saying that na koi ghusa hai, na koi ghusega. Just after 4 days of the Galvan clash. So the question arises here that why did the clash take place if there was no ghusa hai or ghusega? Right, that question arises here. And next after that, the general staff of army, Upendra Dwivedi was his name, he mentioned that there was a need to go back to the status quo ante of April 2020. That means you cannot deny the fact that Chinese transgression took place.
But ma'am,
At
does
first,
intrusion
it was
of any
not-
kind,
it was,
fair enough,
Shivani,
even if there
I'm
was an
just
intrusion of some
coming-
kind, one second, even if there was an intrusion of some kind, does that mean the LOP can, take such a sensitive issue and claim that 2,000 square kilometers have been fraudulently occupied by China?
The question which are in the minds of people, he has always, we opposition has been demanding since a long time for the parliamentary discussion. However, the government never responds to it. Then what forum do you have to express your opinions
But
as a
ma'am,
freedom of
the
speech?
question that even
But those as a Shivani, let me complete. On those assertions are made by Sri Rahul Gandhi, it was through the imagery of satellite and the credible sources. And I can show you number of evidences of it.
So will he be
It
going
was
back?
just not-
Will he be
it
going
was
back to
also
court and showing those evidences? Because the court is asking a simple question. One, do you have evidence of making this claim that 2,000 square kilometers were occupied by China during this recent clash? Nobody is denying the clash. Nobody is denying the Galwan 2020 clash where we lost 20 of our Jawans. All of that is, of course, on public record. The issue is asking a question versus making an assertion. In fact, he went on to say the media is not asking these questions. He suggested that he has the information that everybody has and everybody knows this as some ordinary information and truth. But somehow people are not talking about it. He suggested that this was the absolute truth.
Okay, Shivani, I'll come back to that point that he made an assertion. So if it was not true, if Modi government is completely denying that the transgression did not take place, then what made them to go ahead and negotiate an agreement of India-China border patrol agreement?
Okay.
Why did they initiate this agreement with India and China?
Okay.
What circumstances made them to negotiate for this agreement?
Okay. Can
If they
Siddharth
are
Yadav
denying
please
that
respond to
there
this?
was
If
no-
nothing happened, and this debate happened at that time also, Siddharth, you will remember. If nothing happened, then why was India asking for status quo ante, first of all? Obviously, situation had changed, status quo had changed. What do you make of the fact that the Congress's defense, even in court today, Rahul Gandhi's defense was that he is the leader of opposition and if he doesn't ask these questions, then who will?
Shivani, I think we must know the background of the land that we are speaking about, and we must also know the political background of the same. We have lost 35,000 square kilometers of that area under the leadership of former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. It's a tough terrain. Some of that terrain is also, for common patrolling. Some of that terrain is also yet disputed, because once we acceded to the demands of China then, and once we gave away that land, the territory which is our territory, which is on our map, things have become very difficult. Now, having said all of that, there is no denial that a Galwan clash happened. There is no denial that our forces work very hard, work very tirelessly to not give away 1 inch of our land. And there is no denial that it is on official record that no inch of our land has been given. The question is something different. When the Supreme Court says that no true patriot of this country would come and say, हमारे जवान पिट रहे हैं, हमने 2000 किलोमीटर उनको जमीन दे दी. Where is this 2000 kilometer figure come from? There's a very famous saying, with great authority comes great responsibility. A leader of opposition is a position of greatest responsibility. One has to accept that responsibility. You can't be sleeping in a dream and then wake up suddenly and then say 2,000 kilometers have gone, 3,000 kilometers have gone. Oh, I am thinking 5,000 kilometers is the figure I should quote today. That is not how the country works. If you are a citizen and a citizen has a right to question the government through an RTI, you are a member of the parliament. You raise a question in the parliament. Surprisingly so, the Rahul Gandhi has never raised any question in the parliament asking how much land was given, what happened after Galwan clash. He came up with his own figures, with his own map and all of that. You can't be doing this, and this is not the first time. We know the
Now
Supreme
the
Court
issue
has,
is Asma Tasneem.
I
was going to come. No, I was going to come exactly to that. Asma Tasneem, the issue is, one second, the issue is that as leader of opposition, he has made certain comments in the past and courts themselves have wrapped him. You know, when you are making charges or allegations against someone, you have to be very much in the clear that you can prove those allegations. Whether it's Veer Savarkar comments, RSS being behind Gandhi's killing comments, Chaukidar Chor hai being attributed to the Supreme Court, his membership had come under the hammer at that time. And now, for example, recently he came out and said, he was the only one from the Congress party even, to say that yes, Donald Trump is right, Indian economy is dead. Do you think sometimes Rahul Gandhi is not measuring the impact of his statements?
Rahul Gandhi makes all the possible statements which will come true. It's just eventually the matter of time. Okay, he made a statement about.
What does that mean? For example, his comment on RSS his comment of RSS being behind Gandhi's assassination, that can't come true with passage of time. It isn't true.
Nathuram Godse has the connection to RSS.
Yeah, so say it like that. You can't say RSS was behind the killing, right?
Are you denying that Nathuram was not at all associated with RSS?
But you have to then present it like that. You can't say RSS was guilty of his assassination. That's a completely different thing. That's what he said.
But the key conspirator, whoever has done it, was aligned with RSS.
So?
No, this is absolutely wrong. No, this is absolutely wrong.
No, by that logic, once again, by that logic, you know, some of Congress leaders have been found guilty of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. By that logic, was the Congress entirely behind it?
Which riots? 1984 riots.
Yes. Your leaders have been convicted for it.
That has been apologized by
It's not a matter of apology then. Where does the blame go?
Has been done in the past.
It's not about that. Asbaji, you're not understanding the point I'm making. If you're going to make an organization that has any link with any culprit or criminal liable for the actions of that individual, that will also fall on a political party like you. So you can't just say that just because somebody supposedly had a link to an organization, that organization should cop the blame for an assassination. Isn't that taking it too far? That's exactly what he was pulled for. It's almost seeming like the Congress doesn't want to learn from its lessons.
Why did Shivani? One question I want to ask you: that why did Sardar Patel impose the ban on RSS?
I'm not discussing RSS. I'm discussing the comments that you can make alleging criminality on somebody's part. But I have a final 30 seconds. I'll give it to Siddharth Yadav.
Rahul Gandhi has
I think
it hasn't been proved. He had to offer a statement to explain. He then went on to say that he is not blaming the RSS. He had to do that in the court. So, Siddharth Yadav, please, 20 seconds.
Shivani, I think this was answered in the Supreme Court itself. The Congress spokesperson should go and check the proceedings there. He also apologized for what remarks he made to Savarkar. He also apologized for what remarks he made on Rafale. He always apologizes. So how does this come up that eventually it will all come true? What is coming true? You make a statement and then you apologize. You don't know what you are saying. And eventually you'll come out and apologize. And when it comes down to the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, it is on record in the parliament. The former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji has come out and said Nathuram Godse was a critique, an open critique of the RSS.
Okay,
but
I'm not getting into that. That's not the issue. The issue is whether as politicians and even in political opposition, one has to be careful of what you're saying and how it's going to be used on facts, but also on the impact that your statements can have. I do thank our guests for joining us.